It was mid-morning. The tractor trailer rolled to a slow halt, loaded with sacks bursting with the recent harvest, dust swirling around like ghosts of hard labor. From the cab, a young voice called out over the dust and creaking wood, "How many sacks so far, Uncle?" "About 100, nephew," came the reply. "How many more trips do you need?" "Maybe 1 or 2 more, sister," the young worker answered, weary but trying to sound composed. "It's tough, takes so much time," the uncle nodded. "All right, I send the wage later." Let everyone rest after lunch, then continue. Relief flickered in the young man's tired smile. "If that's okay, Uncle, everyone will have lunch, rest a bit, and I'll send someone in the afternoon to haul the rest. I've got other commitments and can't stay." "Sounds good," the uncle agreed. "We'll tally the sacks later. You just go home and rest." A hush fell, broken only by distant traffic and soft wind. But the rest would come soon enough, after lunch and a brief pause. By early afternoon, the air had cooled slightly, and the first hints of winter were creeping in. Inside a modest home, a woman called Diep quietly rummaged through a small wardrobe filled with worn clothes. She lifted a faded coat with a broken zipper. Then she turned to a stack of knitted sweaters. "Here, this one's better. New, warm." A child, NHI, peeked up at her. "Do you like this color?" "Yes," said the child, eyes glinting. "I love it." Diep smiled softly. "Let's get it." "And a hat too. Keep your head and hands warm in the cold." NHI squealed in delight, grabbing the woolen hat and holding it close. "Like this? Yes, that's perfect." Diep helped her. Then she nudged her gently forward. "Pick whichever one you like, any pair you want." The child's small fingers closed on a tiny pair of boots. Diep led her to the counter. "Go ahead, pay up." The total came to 50,000 Vietnamese dongs. NHI pushed a few coins across, her face serious as though performing a grand transaction. Later, Diep asked softly, "You want to go play in the ball house?" NHI nodded eagerly. "Yes, Auntie Diep." But then, something caught Nyi's eye, a small, chubby figurine, painted bright and cheerful. She tilted it curiously. "This one," she said, pointing. "It looks like Uncle James." "Uncle James?" Diep asked, smiling wryly. She bent to look at the figurine. "You think so?" NHI nodded, dancing on the spot. "He's chubby like him too." Diep laughed gently. "All right then, color it. Let's see if it really looks like him." So the little girl painted carefully. Stroke by stroke, she filled in cheeks, round belly, smiling eyes. At times she paused, looked at Diep, then resumed, determined. Almost like Uncle James now? Diep asked, holding up the painted figurine. Almost, NHI whispered. She held it tight. I want to take it home, so when I miss him, I can look at it. Diep nodded, touched. Of course, sweetheart. We'll take it home. They paid, wrapped the figurine carefully. And as Diep led NHI out of the shop, she wondered, would James really come back tonight? The daughter clutched the small toy, silent, hopeful. Evening settled quietly. Inside a humble dwelling, a woman hummed softly, stirring rice, lighting a small stove. The girl, NHI, sat waiting, her new clothes folded neatly beside her. A knock at the door. Footsteps. A hesitant, halting return. Diep? It's me. A familiar voice, hesitant, uneven. She jumped. James, you came back. Why didn't you call me? Where've you been? Her voice trembled between relief and anger. He hung his head. I'm sorry. It's been crazy, the job, the road. I tried to call, phone died. I had to rush home as soon as I could. She flinched. But you could have let me know. We were so worried. And you crashed the motorbike. Are you hurt? Your arms? Legs? Everything okay? He rubbed his shoulder, sighed. I'm fine. Just bumped a little. Nothing serious. Silence. She stared at him, eyes wide, scanning for bruises. Then shook her head. You had us scared to death. He lowered his eyes. Believe me, I'm sorry. I got busy, time slipped. Suddenly, the door opened. A small figure shuffled in, sleepy, timid. Daddy, hey, little one, he said softly. The child climbed into his arms, looking up with big eyes. Daddy, he hugged her tight. Diep looked on, relief flooding her. The tension of the day seemed to lift. They sat together, quiet. Outside, the night pressed in. Inside, warm. James finally spoke in a soft voice. There's something we need to settle tomorrow. I need to go meet Fat, get things sorted. Diep nodded. Then we'll wait. For you. For tomorrow. NHI rubbed her eyes, yawned, curled into sleep, her small chest rising and falling in peaceful slumber. In the dim lamplight, the room felt fragile but real. Love, worry, hope. Over the next hour, they talked in whispers. James glanced at a crumpled notebook filled with numbers, receipts, deductions. 20 million Vietnamese dongs earned, but after subtracting 1 million for fees, 2 million for transport, 300,000 for sacks, 500,000 for hired hands, only 15 million remained. And once he considered subtracting 10 million more, the real profit withstood razor thin, 5,500,000 Vietnamese dongs. He sighed. If I did this for a whole month, maybe I'd make enough. But it wouldn't be worth it. Too many promises, too many people to trust. Diep shook her head. That kind of business, it's built on cheating. Even if this batch didn't fail, who knows what's next? He looked at her sharply. Right now, we've got NHI safe. She's growing. That's what matters. And in that quiet house, with one child asleep, one weary father, one tired mother, they shared a fragile peace. Later, NHI awoke, rubbed her eyes groggily. She sat up, and Diep helped her wash, brush her teeth, clean her face, warm water running gently. The child moved slowly, still half in dreams. Remember, sleepyhead, Diep whispered, always wash your hands before you touch your face or eyes. If hands are dirty, germs might get in your eyes. NHI nodded seriously, a small frown of concentration on her face. Once done, she curled back bed, hugging her ragged stuffed toy, the one she painted to look like James. James looked at the child. Diep looked at James. The weight of the day pressed softly on them both. Tomorrow would bring questions. Tomorrow they would meet Fat. But for now, under that flimsy blanket of hope and fatigue, they had tonight. Tomorrow, James murmured, tomorrow we'll fix it. We'll make it right. And as NHI drifted back to sleep, the house settled into silence. Only the faint rustle of the wind outside, and the soft breathing of the child, breaking the stillness.